Recently, for a school assignment, Max and Min were asked to find something two-dimensional which they could measure up using 3 different measuring tools. The twins decided to measure up the school's tennis court using a 15-centimeter ruler, a builder's 8-meter winding tape, and a trundle wheel. Before doing the measuring, Min went to the International Tennis Federation (ITF) website and found the rules relating to tennis court measurements, so they would be able to check their own measurements. According to the ITF rules, a tennis court should be a rectangle 23.77 meters long by 10.97 meters wide. To measure this on their tennis court, the twins used a trundle wheel which their dad had bought from Officeworks. A trundle wheel consists of a wheel that spins at the end of a long handle. The outside of the wheel is marked in centimeters and is exactly 100 centimeters, or 1 meter, around. And every time the wheel makes one full turn, it clicks. By walking the wheel along the ground, starting with the 0 point touching the ground and counting the clicks as you go, you can count the number of meters you have walked. When you stop, you can look at the wheel to add the extra centimeters travelled after the last click. Max used their trundle wheel and wrote down his measurements: 23 meters and 72 centimeters. That is 23.72 meters for the total length and 10 meters and 94 centimeters. That is 10.94 meters for the total width. These measurements did not exactly match the ITF dimensions, so Min also had to go with the trundle wheel. Her measurements, 23.8 meters for the length and 11.05 meters for the width, also did not match the ITF dimensions exactly and were different to Max's measurements as well. Later, at home, they discussed these different measurements with their dad. "Well," he explained, "the trundle wheel usually slips a little while it turns, and also often moves a bit offline, so it usually does not give exact measurements. However, it is a very good tool for measuring approximately if used carefully over distances that are too long for a measuring tape. Also, 2 people will often get slightly different measurements even when using a tape measure because they use the tool a little differently, or they might make a small mistake reading off the tape." Back at the tennis court, the twins used the 8-meter winding tape to accurately measure the height of the net at its ends, which was 107 centimeters, and at its middle, which was 91 centimeters high. They also used this tape to check that the service line was 6.4 meters from the net, which it was. Finally, to accurately measure the thickness of the white lines which marked out the tennis court, Max and Min used their 15-centimeter ruler because it had millimeters marked on it, and it was very easy to use for small measurements. Remember, there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter. In other words, 1 millimeter is 1/10 of a centimeter. They found the width of the white lines to be 45 millimeters, or 4.5 centimeters. Before they left the tennis court, they noticed two more things. Firstly, there was an umpire's seat near one end of the net. Even though it was a three-dimensional object, the twins used the tape measure to measure its width, length, and height, which they added to their notes with a sketch. The second thing they noticed was the poor condition of the chain wire fence that surrounded the tennis court area. The total distance around a two-dimensional shape, for example, adding the three sides of a triangle together, is called the perimeter of the shape. So they decided to measure the perimeter of the tennis court area, because that would tell them the total length of the fence around it that needed replacing. Perimeter of court area equals 35 meters plus 20 meters plus 35 meters plus 20 meters, which equals 110 meters. Practice measuring the length of small, medium, and long distances using different measuring tools. Now you can watch this video again, or try the quiz and look at the chart that comes with this video.